I've owned my Sony Alpha 7 R5 now for 2 years, but there's one lens I've not talked about. And today, we're going to change that. Let's get into it. So the lens in question is my Sony 24-105 f4. It's a lens that I've used almost continuously over these last 2 years, but I've never really talked about it. And the reason for that is perhaps because it's so vanilla, perhaps because it's not a G Master or a specialist lens. It's just a generic walk-around travel lens, all-rounder if you like. It's not something that you would want to shout about. And I think that's a shame because it's actually a really good lens. Now, the purists amongst you are going to be shouting at me, well, it's old and it's not quite as sharp as this or that. It's not a G Master. It doesn't have f2.8. And you're absolutely right in all of those comments. But I don't need that. I don't need f2.8 for what I do. I don't need the holy trinity of lenses. I've had the holy trinity. It weighs a ton. And for what? For an extra f-stop? And today, I'm going to take this lens out for a little walk and we're going to talk about it a little bit. I'm here in a new location to me. I've been here before, but I've never actually photographed before. It's the beautiful estuary town of Tynemouth, right at the end of the River Tyne, about 10 miles from Newcastle. Across the water behind me, we've got the Hergroin Lighthouse, which I've filmed at quite a bit. Right behind the camera at the moment, we've got the monastery or the abbey that sits on the headland that is a defining part of this beautiful town. And today I'm just going to walk around from this little headland here where I've been taking some shots just after sunrise up towards the town, do a little bit of photography and just have a little chat about this camera. Advantages that the 24-105 has, and this comes into depth of field, is that at 70, obviously it won't have as much depth of field as a 2.8 at 24-70, but I can go to 105. And depth of field is not all about aperture, it's about camera to subject to background distance. So by going to 105, I can come further back from my subject and compress the background against them. So the argument that a 24-70 2.8 will give you better depth of field is only partially right. And yes, it will give you better low light capability. But again, we have AID noise and we're only talking one stop difference now. The extra noise will easily be taken out by AID noise in something like DxO Photo Lab or Adobe Lightroom. Now this is a demonstration of that concept. I'm going to focus on this flower here, both at 70 and at 105. I will move back a little bit for the 105. And we'll shoot wide open at f4. This is at 70mm. And we'll just come back on the other side of the railings there. And we'll come into 105. Now, this is not going to be exactly correct, but we'll try to give a bit of a demonstration of it. So the light's not particularly great this morning. I was a little bit late for sunrise. It's still very early in the morning sunrise here in the northeast. The lights, some nice clouds up there actually. I might see if I can capture those with something in the foreground, but overall it's a little bit dull, and so I'm not really trying to take anything spectacular. It's more a demonstration of this particular lens and its capabilities really. Now this particular shot, to try and get the sky in, again it's not going to be a great shot, not a great composition really, but just to get the details in the sky, I'm going to shoot a 5-image HDR on continuous mode, just to see what we can get in post-production. And it might actually be quite cool to try a HDR panoramic as well, so we'll give that a go with that sky. The advantages of a 24-105. Now, I don't know the weight of the latest G Master 24-70, and if I remember, I will put them on screen now in comparison to this lens. But lenses are heavy, and carrying them around all day is hard work. Especially as if, like me, you're getting a little bit on the older side and that backpack is getting heavier and heavier with every birthday. Going for a lighter weight kit is really, really useful. In a recent video about the 100-400 in the city, I talked about being able to shoot the layers and the juxtapositions and the different details of a city by using a 100-400 telephoto. Now, the advantage of the 24-105 is it gives me that wide angle that I can encompass shots like this fortress behind me, this monastery, this castle, whatever it is. I'll have to do my research on that. But I can actually capture that in a 24mm and get a bit of sky in. But I can also pick off details like juxtapositions, like compressed backgrounds and stuff like that using 105. It's not as effective as the 100-400, of course, but it still gives me that extra option over the 70, and it is a noticeable difference, as you would have seen with some of the pictures that I've shown through the video. It is, of course, optically stabilized. It only has one level of optical stabilization. The Sigma 100-400 actually has two. One mode, I think mode 0 or mode 1. The first mode basically is for taking static shots, and the second mode is for taking panning shots. This one doesn't need two. Just one is absolutely fine. It does come in useful, very useful when you're out at 105mm, and perhaps even from 70mm onwards. You're probably not really going to need it at 24, but it does give you that option. As I said as well, the extra stop that you get on a 2.8 is nice, but is it worth that extra weight? And given the modern technologies that we have in terms of reducing noise, that difference in noise is minimal. For me, the 24-105 is a real versatile lens. It's probably the one that I use the most. It's not the one that I take out with me the most. That's probably the 100-400, or if I'm shooting in low light, it's the 85mm f1.8, which is a brilliant lens. And I did a video about that shooting at night in Bangkok, and I'll leave a link for that in the description below. But as a walk-around lens, as doing these videos, and in particular shooting video, it's a really, really good lens. It's a little bit heavy for the gimbal, and if you saw a previous video I did, I bought the Tamron 20-40mm for shooting video off a gimbal. But if you're on a tripod and you're locked off, and some of the video, the B-roll that you see today will have been handheld on this, so hopefully not too shaky. And the other advantage, of course, is I have this C3 button here set to APSC crop mode in video. I have it set in photo as well, but there's really no need for that when you've got 61 megapixels. It makes no difference. But in video mode, I can press this button and my 24-105 will become the range of 24 to about 160 f4, which is a really, really useful range for video. It does allow you to pull off stuff like the transport that I was talking about in my previous video as well. So as a video lens, it's actually really good. It focuses pretty quickly. I'm sure it's not as quick as a G Master, and I'm sure it's not as sharp as a G Master. But does it need to be that sharp? I don't pixel peep. I don't delve deep into an image. If it prints up at a decent size and it looks sharp from edge to center, that's good enough for me. And I think it's probably good enough for most people. Sometimes In the Sony ecosphere and in many other camera manufacturers, the specialist lenses are kind of a badge of honour. And yes, absolutely, there will be people that absolutely need them. But for the most of us, do we really? I bought the Sigma 100-400 over the Sony because it's a little bit slower, but it's a damn sight cheaper. And we live in tight times, budgetary times, and lots of us are not making huge amounts of money. So we have to consider what we're buying. There are so many good options that are not quite the pinnacle of photographic lenses, but are damn good either way. And this is a damn good lens. It's old, it's a little bit slower, but it's a fantastic lens and I have absolutely no regrets buying it. I literally bought it because I didn't have enough money to go for the G Masters. I didn't want to have to buy 2 or 3 lenses to cover the ranges I wanted. So I bought this, and a few weeks later I bought the 85mm 1.8 for low light, and that little combination served me really well until I got the 20-40 and the 100-400. So let me know your thoughts. It doesn't have to be about Sony. I mean, all the other camera manufacturers do similar F4 lenses, 24-105 or 18-200, those sort of extended standard ranges that you see that are really, really useful. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on it, why you use them, why you don't use them. Perhaps you buy the G Master over this every day. I'd like to know why. If you've liked this video, a thumbs up would be fantastic. A subscription would be even better. And there's a new feature on YouTube now that if you really, really like a video, you can hype it. And that's really quite special, I think, to all YouTubers if you get a hype. So if you really, really like the video, a hype would be fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee, head home. It's actually quite chilly because, of course, it's the northeast and it's the middle of summer. So cup of coffee, home, and then I'm going to have a look at these images and get them ready to drop into the video for you to have a look at. I'll see you in the next one.